Hello friends, Namaste. Uh, this talk is regarding the cracker ban. Cracker ban has become a hot topic. Twitter is full of this cracker ban, and many national news channels are discussing this topic, and many so-called gurus in India, they have jumped into this fray, this debate of cracker ban. And the point is that why this cracker ban thing crops up in India only at the time of, let's say, Deepavali, or only at the time of Hindu festivals. In fact, crackers are being burst at many occasions. Even politicians also, let's say during elections or when they win elections, they are also bursting crackers. Crackers are being burst even during, let's say, weddings or some other festivals. So there is this issue. So the whole topic is actually, and the gurus are called, the so-called gurus are saying that you find out some other means of, if you are concerned with, let us say, environment or pollution. Don't hit at crackers only at the time of Diwali. Let children enjoy. We also enjoy during our childhood days. So why are we depriving them that enjoyment to children? Why are we depriving them that enjoyment when they are young? So the elder ones can sacrifice some other things, like let them go to their offices by walk, or let them use like bicycles. Why are they using their, let's say, petrol cars or diesel cars? So that is how things are, points and counterpoints are being brought into this topic, and this topic is made a hot topic today because today is Diwali. So today is Lakshmi Puja. Now, why when it comes to pollution, when it comes to, let us say, environment, we are all breathing the same air, right? The life flowing through all of us is the same life. The blood is the same. It may be of some different group, but the blood is same, the air is the same. We are all taking the same oxygen. So, and we have seen the fate of some countries. Let's say we have seen in China some cities, because of the pollution, they were not even able to come out even for a day. It happened in Delhi, our most important city, the capital of India, Delhi. What happened? So pollution is the key. Now this, which is part of the global warming, on a global level. So we should all, as human beings, we should all be concerned with pollution. We all need clean air. We all need fresh air. That is the goal. That is the point. So let us not divide that into, divide the topic into Hindu, non-Hindu, leftist and rightist. And that what bursting crackers is contributing to very little pollution compared to other means by which the pollution is more. I want to give one or two, three quick points. You see, take for example, let's say plastic. Plastic is a great invention when it comes to science, and plastic has become a great utilitarian product for all of us. But then what happened? We have realized over a period of time that plastic is a great pollution contributing factor. And then what we have decided, so all over the world, globally, with concerted efforts, we have all agreed that we have to find out ways and means to ban plastic at whatever level that we can, and we have to find out some alternative means. So though plastic is a very important invention when it comes to science, and we found it's a very good utilitarian thing, but we are now finding out ways and means to ban it at whatever level that we can. This is one. Second, you see the Ganesha immersion. What happened? See, who started this movement? There was a better cause for this. See, there was a time when, the Britishers were not allowing assembly of people. They were not allowing the people to come together, and Bal Gangadhar Tilak found a way, and then he brought this movement, right? So the Ganesha movement. That then people started assembling together for this for Ganesha, and then there used to be these congregations, and then finally we even do it today. We immerse Ganesha. But then what happened over a period of time? This was a good cause, but as we moved from that point today in history, we found that it has become one of the biggest, pollution contributing factors. And then the local municipal corporations have found their ways and means to, that they will immerse Ganesha in such a way that, it will not be immersed directly into some, let us say, lake or something. Artificial ponds will be created, and then the Ganesha will be immersed. So they are taking that responsibility so that best way we will do that festival, but it will contribute to less and less pollution. And then we have gone a step further and started, inventing what we call green Ganesha. So from that level where it was a great pollution contributing factor, we moved to something that contributes less. So we invented something called green Ganesha. So now also, even if you approach the Supreme Court is not willing to do a blanket ban. They are not willing to give an order which will result into a blanket ban when it comes to banning crackers. So this is how we have to think on this aspect. Pollution is going to be the most important factor when it comes to our livelihoods. Forget about Hindu, forget about non-Hindu, or forget about other religions. See, go into this Diwali thing. Diwali. See, this Diya is a metaphor. When one of the Upanishads, when it is saying, what it is saying, Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya. What does that? It is saying, O Lord, move me from darkness to illumination. Move me from darkness to light. O Lord, please move me from ignorance to enlightenment. So it is that metaphor. It has nothing to do with crackers. I don't think Diwali is not being celebrated today. Now, if we go into, let us say, the very etymology, the very root as to from where this Diwali comes, we all know that, Sri Ram fought his battle with the demon king called Ravana. And then this war resulted into Rama's victory, and Rama came back to India, and then this from that point onwards, this festival is being celebrated as a Diwali, as sort of a metaphor for the victory of good over the evil. But it is just a metaphor. But the real thing is the inner darkness, the ignorance, the ego that is in all of us. So the Diwali is removing that darkness, removing that ignorance. So it is lighting the lamp within. It is a metaphor for that. The outside thing is only always, see, there are flowers in the garden. What are they indicating? The flowers in the garden are continuously reminding us. So it is nature's reminder. For what? For the flowering of the inner consciousness. we are still like seeds. The seed has not yet bloomed into a big tree, and the flowers have not blossomed yet. The fruits have not yet come to that tree. So it is nature playing that trick. It is reminding you and me. It is nature's reminder for flowering into our own inner consciousness. So this flower, which is not a flower now, this seed has to blossom into a flower. So that nature's flower is only a reminder. So the outside diyas that we are using, the outside things that we are doing when it comes to the celebration of this festival, those diyas are just metaphors. The inner diya has to lit, right? So unless we see the light of that soul, unless we see the light of that consciousness, the so-called Diwali is of no meaning. And what will you do by bursting crackers? Just think, even if gurus are saying today, don't, deprive the children from their enjoyment, think on this again. 100 years from now, 50 years from now, the younger generation which will come, they will curse you. You will go into the darkest pages of the history. You will be tainted with this dark spot. Nobody will be able to remove that spot from your nature, from whatever that you said. Please remember these things always. Have a voice. Recognize what is good for you. Nobody has created the air that you and me are breathing. The nature has given that air to us. God has given that air to us. We are talking about pranayama and yoga and this and that. And we are doing this small, silly mistake of polluting our environments. I agree that that greatest of the pollution is coming from the developed nations of the world. But this cannot be a counter argument that you are doing more pollution, so why are you telling me? Now this cannot be an argument. This is a stupid argument. The responsibility is collective. So we have to bring in this consciousness in each one of us, that no child is going to spare us in the future if we don't raise a voice now. So the whole thing is of conscious decisions, responsible decisions. If global warming is there, it is not coming from nature. We have to find out how much we are responsible for that global warming. And what is it that we can do? We means every individual at every level. Don't divide this into Hindu, non-Hindu. And let me tell you one more thing. Don't divide into religions. Why? Because, see, religions have become also part of the political parties. It has become a vote bank kind of a thing. The gurus have also become like that. They have their own beneficiary. They are the beneficiaries of that whole ecosystem. That is the reason why they are not voicing. They have this fear, just like how politicians have this fear of losing votes and losing power. Even the gurus also have got this fear of losing the disciples. They are dependent on the disciples. See, what is religion? If you go into the root of religion, once upon a time, long ago, at the root of that religion, there was a master. He was an enlightened being. And then he shared his ways and means of how we can enlighten ourselves. He shared his story. He shared his ways. And then over a period of time, it has become a religion. But religions have become just rituals. They are just props. They are just following rituals. But rituals can never revolutionize you. No ritual is going to revolutionize your inner self. Please understand this very carefully. If you lit a diya outside and don't do anything for lighting the diya inside, nothing will happen. We can stay here for thousands of years. Let me say this very clearly and put it on a stamp paper. I am going to sign it. Preserve it for centuries. Nothing is going to happen. The change has to happen within. The outside change will automatically happen. If nothing changes inside, no outside change is going to come. So, religions can never reveal the truth to you. Only spirituality can reveal the truth to you. And spirituality is taking that responsibility for your own self. That is what the Upanishads are saying. When Upanishad is saying Aham Brahmasmi, what does that mean? That so-called Brahma is within you. The very essence of all this creation is within you. It is not outside. No matter you do what outside, you are not going to attain it. Let me make this very, very clear to you. You go to any guru. The true guru has to unleash the guru within you. If you go with the Guru Gita, what the Guru Gita? See, the source of Guru Gita, we give the credit to Guru Gita to whom? We are giving the credit to Guru Gita that it has come from Shiva and Parvati. It has come from Shiva and Shakti. So the Guru Gita is coming from Shiva, we are saying. And what the Guru Gita is saying? The Guru Gita is saying, who is the real Guru? Guru Gita is saying, the real Guru is yourself. Your true self is your real Guru. There is no outside Guru. And there is one more Gita, Avadhut Gita. What Avadhut Gita is saying? Incidentally, my name is also Avadhut, but it is a parent given name. I am not that Avadhuta. I am not claiming that. What the Avadhut Gita? In the Avadhut Gita, he is naming some 24 things or 12 things. I don't remember exactly. He is giving them gurus. He is naming them gurus. What? And in that there is no human being. So he's saying, I learned from the moon. I learned from the pond. I learned from the snake. Anything can become a guru. It has to be an elevating thing. Any situation, any book, any reference, it can be a bird, it can be the sky, it can be a garden, it can be a flower. But when Avadhut Gita is saying those 12 or 24 things, which are sources of Guru, and without a human being, does it mean it is saying human being is not a Guru? It is saying when these things can become Guru, a human being also can become a Guru. But see what the Gurus are telling you. The Gurus are telling you all fake things. The Gurus are giving you only rituals. They are not telling you the true thing. So the real Guru is sitting within you. So unless we change that paradigm shift of looking inside ourselves. So when we say inner does not mean inside the body. That the doctor is doing for seeing, to know what kind of diseases that we are suffering from, or to remove the diseases. When we say inner is a psychological, deeper and going beyond psychology. Inner means the mind related thing. Now, mind is not a physical thing. Mind is a psychological thing. Brain is a physical thing. Your body is a physical thing. Brain is a physical thing. But mind is a psychological thing. And your soul is not a psychological thing. Your soul is a spiritual thing. It's an invisible thing. You can never see with the cognition of your senses. It is beyond the cognition of your 5 senses. Only the inner senses will recognize it. Only the inner mind. When I say inner mind, the no mind. No mind means the mind that is not identifying with concepts, dogmas, notions. It is going with the existential. So when I say beauty of the sunrise, it is not a word. When I say the beauty of the sunset, it is not a word. When I say look at the clouds, wow, how beautiful they are, it is not the word. It is an existential thing. It's a feeling thing. Your heart has to feel it. Your whole being has to feel it. That is it. I don't want to pull it long. I want to cut it short. So the Upanishads are saying Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya, because today is a Diwali. It's a festival of lights. It is lighting the real diya within us. Right? So don't please fall into this crap debate of, crackers ban only on Diwali, Hindu, non-Hindu, leftist, rightist. Recognize the real thing. Be courageous. Otherwise, your younger generation will curse you. If we all collectively don't live a very life evolving ecosystem, they will piss at us, they will spit at us, they will curse us. Don't go into black history, please. So that's it. Thank you so much for listening. Finally, namaste. So wishing you all a very happy Diwali. Let your life be lit with love, light and laughter. Thank you so much. Namaste.